What's going on? It's Josh with Absolute Cleaning, and the topic of this video is mounting the pump on a 5.5 gallon engine. I had to do that because I had to change the belts. The other ones were a little stretched out, in addition to an issue I had with the cover there that was rubbing against the pulley on the pump, causing a little bit of friction and some heat that was wearing those belts out a little quicker than normal. And I smelled some burned rubber on a job while we were doing a driveway. And this is a 18 horsepower 440cc engine I picked up from Lowe's last minute during busy season. It's turned out good. It has a gas tank that comes with it on top there, so I swapped that tank out for a little fuel pump and ran that into the gas tank. And just to run through everything real quick, primary hose reel, which will be relocated here shortly. That is a terrible position when the hose reels are on this side. 5.5 gallon, 8 gallon Predator, wands ready to go, remote downstreaming box, a nifty little thing I picked up on Amazon for like $30. So you can hang your wands here, or a foam cannon or whatever. But me being on the driver's side, pop out, get my 8 gallon going, grab my gun, my soap nozzle. I need to mount this box. It's just our little oh shit kit. And bag 1 and bag 2 for engine 1, engine 2. And little tools here and there. Hose reels, soft wash over there. And another mounted box just for little extra accessories and attachments, things like that, and chemical tank here on the back. All right, we'll dive into the details on mounting that, which is complete now, but we'll run through what all was involved with that. Bought this in the middle of busy season, and it was more of a quick budget build because things were so busy. And of course, it doesn't have a guard on it or anything like that, but the way it's set up on the trailer, you're not really going to get your hands near it or anything like that. And I removed the gas tank and slapped a little vacuum fuel pump in there, and eventually got that vacuum hose fixated on there. And off of Amazon, had a little $12, $13 replacement for that spacer there with a barb on it that you could hook that vacuum hose to, rather than try to drill a hole through the valve or anything like that I've seen other people do. So that was fairly easy to do. And that's a pre-existing pump I had on there, a General Pump HP 5535. And it's done great. And the main reason for taking it off the rig and getting into it, belts that were on there were a few years old. And when I had the guard on and I put this pump back on and adjusted some things, the pulley here was rubbing against that guard, creating a lot of friction, heat, and the old belts heated up, and I could smell it on the job, just that burnt rubber smell, and knew something had to be adjusted on this engine here. So I got some new belts, and they're not tightened up or anything, and the pump is just kind of sitting in place. I left a bolt out, and the other ones are just kind of hand tied on there. So we'll dive in. To make the mounting easier, I hope anyway, most people have that bracket there. Mine are just two 11mm nuts, and you tighten those up one by one, little by little, and that will get the pump nice and straight and get the tension that you want on these belts. And leaving those bolts hand tight, once you get that pump in position where you want it using those adjustment screws, you then can come down here to those mounting bolts and get that nice and tight on the frame. And just when it comes to the bolt washer, slip that in, and then we would go underneath and put a washer on, lock wash, and then your nut, hand tight. Got the adjustment screws in place, pump where you want it, everything's straight, great tension where you need it. And then come underneath and tighten all 4 of those mounting bolts. And mine, it may vary, but it's a 14mm. So I take impact drill, go underneath, impact that on, and then just have a 14mm wrench here on top as I tighten those up underneath. And then get all those tightened up and be ready to roll, and we'll see what that looks like here in a second when everything's in its position. All right, got everything secure, ready to go. Belts on, ready to roll. A little bit of play, not too much. And we're gonna let it rip.